Look at your hands. Now look at your bank account. Now think about the last person you said yes to. I have a terrifying truth for you. You didn't make those choices. There is a silent, invisible war happening inside your skull every single day. Professional manipulators, from billionaire CEOs to cult leaders and even your closest friends, are using a psychological code to bypass your logic and control your behavior. They aren't asking for your permission. They are triggering biological responses that you cannot ignore. It's like they have a remote control for your brain, and they've been pressing the buttons for years. Welcome to Report Crimes. Today, we are not reporting a physical robbery. We are exposing a heist of the human mind. We are dissecting the legendary work of Dr. Robert Cialdini to reveal the 6 weapons of social influence. By the end of this video, you will see the wires attached to your own limbs. If you think you're too smart to be hacked, you're already their favorite victim. Let's look at the evidence. Weapon 0. The Click-Whirr effect, the animal inside to understand manipulation. You must understand the Click-Whirr effect. Our brains are lazy. Evolution taught us to use shortcuts to save energy. Take the mother turkey. She is a perfect mother, but her mothering behavior is triggered by only one thing: the cheep sound of her chicks. In a famous experiment, a stuffed polecat, the turkey's natural enemy, was moved toward a mother turkey. She attacked it. But when a small recorder inside the polecat played that cheep sound, the mother turkey didn't just stop. She tucked the polecat under her wing and protected it. Click sound or automatic behavior. Humans have the same tapes. Dr. Ellen Langer proved that if you ask someone for a favor, simply using the word, because increases success from 60% to 94%, even if the reason you give is complete nonsense. Your brain hears the trigger word and goes into automatic pilot. This is how the crime begins. Weapon 1. Reciprocation, the poisoned gift. The rule of reciprocation says, I am obligated to give back to you what you gave to me. This rule is so powerful that in 1985, Ethiopia, a country suffering from extreme famine, sent $5,000 in aid to Mexico after an earthquake, just because Mexico had helped them 50 years earlier. Dr. Dennis Regan showed that if a person named Joe bought a subject a 10-cent Coke, that person would later buy twice as many raffle tickets from Joe than those who got nothing. The dark twist: it didn't matter if the people liked Joe or not. The psychological debt was so painful that they had to pay it back, even at a 500% interest rate. This is the weapon of negotiators. They ask for something massive, like a $250,000 illegal budget for a break-in. This is actually how the Watergate scandal started. When you say no, they retreat and ask for something smaller. Your brain sees this as a gift of compromise. You feel you must say yes to the second request. You didn't win. You were walked into a trap. Weapon 2. Commitment and consistency, the identity cage. Once we make a choice or take a stand, we face massive internal pressure to behave consistently with that commitment. We want to be what we said we are. During the Korean War, Chinese captors didn't use torture to get Americans to collaborate. They used small, harmless commitments. They asked prisoners to write down that the U.S. is not perfect. Once it was on paper, the soldier felt a need to be consistent with his own handwriting. Slowly, they were led to betray their country, one tiny consistent step at a time. The $1,000 car mistake. This is the lowball tactic. A car dealer offers a price $400 below the competition. You decide to buy. You fill out forms. You tell your neighbors. Then, at the last second, the dealer finds an error and raises the price back up. Most people still buy it. Why? Because you've already committed mentally. To walk away now would feel like failing yourself. Weapon 3. Social proof, the lethal herd. When we are uncertain, we don't look inside ourselves for answers. We look at others. In 1964, Kitty Genovese was murdered in New York, while 38 witnesses watched from their windows. No one called the police. Why? because they saw no one else reacting. They assumed it wasn't an emergency. This is pluralistic ignorance. This is the darkest proof of all. When a suicide is highly publicized, the number of fatal accidents, cars, and planes in that area spikes by 1,000%. People who are troubled look at the social proof that suicide is a solution, and they imitate it. Why do bartenders put their own money in the tip jar at the start of the night? To give you proof that everyone else is tipping. You don't want to be the only person who doesn't follow the herd. Weapon 4. Liking the charismatic predator, we say yes to people we like. But liking is a science that can be faked in a laboratory. The halo effect means that when someone is physically attractive, we automatically assume they're kind, smart, and honest. That's partly why scammers and cult leaders can seem so charming. On the other hand, mirroring is a technique manipulators use to create a sense of similarity. If you like a certain sports team, they'll claim to like it too. This fake bonding can bypass your critical thinking. At the end of this section, you don't buy the products because you like them. You buy them because you like the friend hosting the party. The company is using your friendship to steal your money. Weapon 5. Authority blind obedience. We are raised to obey authority. But how far will we go? In this terrifying study, normal, everyday people were told by a man in a lab coat to deliver electric shocks to a stranger. As the victim screamed in agony, 65% of people continued until they delivered a deadly 450-volt shock. Why? Just because the authority figure said, the experiment requires that you continue. As an example, you don't need a degree. You just need a suit or a uniform. We stop looking at the message and start looking at the clothes. We are programmed to bow down to titles. Weapon 6. Scarcity, the panic button, the fear of loss, is more powerful than the desire for gain. If you think you might lose something forever, you stop thinking logically. Researchers gave people chocolate chip cookies. One jar had 10 cookies and the other had only 2. People rated the cookie as tastier and more expensive. When it was one of the only 2 available, scarcity actually changes how your brain perceives quality. Or let's say, why do teenagers rebel? Because when parents forbid a relationship, they make the partner scarce. This scarcity makes the love feel 100 times more intense than a normal relationship. Robert Cialdini didn't write Influence to teach people how to manipulate. He wrote it so we could see the wires. The modern world is moving too fast for our ancient brains. We rely on these shortcuts, and that is exactly where the predators are waiting for us. But now, the crime is reported. The ghost in the room is visible. The next time someone gives you a free gift or tells you everyone is doing it, remember this video. If you want to survive in a world of psychological manipulation, you need to follow Report Crimes. We spend hundreds of hours diving into the most powerful books and dark resources ever written, so you can stay one step ahead of the people who want to control you. We prepare these 10-minute masterclasses to change your mind before someone else does. If you haven't followed our channel yet, your mind is wide open for an attack. Hit that follow button, turn on notifications, and take back control of your brain. We'll see you in the next report.